We're joined by our NHL analysts now, Marty Biron and Frankie Corrado. So, Marty, let's start with you. Goaltending questions continue to make headlines in Leafland. Joseph Woll doesn't appear to be on his way back anytime soon. So, how do you think the Leafs should handle this goalie uncertainty?
Well, I don't think there's any urgency right now to make a move or to press the panic button, right? The Leafs still have a winning record since Joseph Woll went out early in the month of December with the injury. It's just a matter of who do you trust right now. And I think that you got Martin Jones for that exact situation, some insurance policy, injuries or performance-based, whatever it is. And Marty Jones last year was pretty decent with the Seattle Kraken at the start of the season, actually got him that chance to be in the playoffs. So I don't think there's any urgency. You can wait until Joseph Woll comes back before you have to make big, tough decisions. And you may be not having to make any decision until the trade deadline, because the Leafs are comfortable in the Eastern Conference right now. So no urgency at this moment, just status quo, play the game on the ice.
I have no doubt that Martin Jones can weather the storm here for the Leafs. But at some point, Ilya Samsonov or another goaltender is going to have to go in the net. And listen, if you're a player who's struggling, you don't want to go through that. As a teammate of a player who's struggling, you don't want to see your teammate go through that. So the Leafs as a team, they have shown that they can mask some of Ilya Samsonov's deficiencies over the season. But when it comes to plays where you can't have any kind of room for error to make a mistake, that's when it gets tough for the players in front of them, because you think you have to be perfect in order to provide an environment for this guy to make a save. So I don't know what gives for Ilya Samsonov. It feels like it's hit rock bottom for him. If he gets in the net again at some point, I'm just not sure how much things are going to change, given that it's the same environment he's been playing in all season and hasn't been able to find his game.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Frankie and Sarah, there's a couple of things that is going through my mind when I think of Samsonov and Martin Jones. First of all, Samsonov doesn't want to be in the net right now. He wants to practice. He wants to gain some of that form. I've been there before where you look at the coach and say, I don't want to play right now. And it feels like that Samsonov. Marty Jones is like, you know what? What do I have to lose? Just play me. I've been all right, and I can get in a rhythm here. So just play me. So there's two different mentality with approaching this situation with the goalies. One, I feel, doesn't want to really be on the ice right now. The other one, well, you know what, playing with house money. So I think this may be actually a good situation for the Leafs if they just run Martin Jones in there and he has some success, and then you can keep putting up the wins.
Yeah, I like that playing with house money mentality. Meanwhile, guys, the Senators, they sit last in the East, and there's so many question marks about this team. Frankie, what's your expectation for them in the final 50-plus games or so?
They can't pack it in. This can't be one of those seasons where it hasn't gone well for them, so they decide to take the easy way out and, hey, it's great, we're going to get another high draft pick. Those days have come and gone for this team. Right now, for the Ottawa Senators, it's about playing good hockey, and as a group, they need to find a way to kind of put together a half a season here where it's going to hurt for them. It's going to hurt for them to win games. It's going to hurt at the end of the season to see where they finish in the standings. But unless you have that feeling and bottle it over the summer and come back next season with something to prove, I'm not sure something changes for the Senators. But the biggest thing for them is they can't pack it in. There's no easy way out for this team. They fired the coach. Now it's up to the group of players as individuals and as a team to change something within their group going forward.
And I think they're going to get on some type of run at some point, but you can't get a false sense of hope or positive energy thinking that this is good enough. It's not been good enough, and you have to regain your identity. The Ottawa Senators this season have lost their identity. They are frustrated on the ice. They're giving up leads. They don't defend well. They've not gotten that identity that made them so fun to watch last year. So the one thing in the next 50 games, regain your identity at the very least, so that you can move forward into next season with something to grab on.
Yeah, they've got to be realistic about their schedule, too, because they're not going to get much rest ahead. The Sens play 15 games in the month of January. Guys, thanks for this.
7-Eleven That's Hockey is brought to you by 7-Eleven. Get meals, groceries, essentials, and, of course, Slurpee delivered.